Hey, I'm Charlie. Today we're looking at my 1986 CR125. We did a full restoration on it. This bike, and you'll see in the video, was actually given to me from somebody that saw my YouTube videos, and he just did not have the time to do the restoration himself. And so we were fortunate enough to do the work for him.
All right, guys, this is going to be a pretty cool rebuild. Fun little history on this bike is I just started a YouTube channel on motocross bikes that I have in the collection and the cars. And Kevin Doss, who owned this bike, saw the videos and through one of the Facebook forums, he wanted me to take the bike and rebuild it, and he donated me the bike. At first I was very hesitant. I don't usually take donations for anything, and all he asked is I keep it in the collection, rebuild it, and add it to the 86 CR250 and 500 I have. And it's obviously 86 CR125. Obviously it has the 87 seat on it, but we'll obviously change that. But really great shape. Kevin is going to be in great hands, going to make you proud, and really looking forward to doing this rebuild. So stay tuned, guys. So we took all the plastic off, and the bike is actually in really good shape. So you can still see where the original sticker was. I think this bike is going to clean up extremely well. Right now I'm honestly considering trying to keep it as original as possible, redo obviously suspension, motor. Obviously we're going to powder coat the engine, make sure it looks as nice as possible, and probably do the exhaust in stock original bars. But all the, all the mounting hardware, everything looked really good shape. Obviously the box looks in really good shape. Actually has a decent filter, but we'll replace the filter just because I don't know how old it is. The radiators look in really good shape. And I don't know, I'm thinking of maybe not powder coating the frame and trying to keep it as original as possible. So we will see. And one of the forks seals is leaking, but I think this bike's gonna come out super, super clean. I really do. Forks look really good shape, so we'll see. We'll see what we do here in a little bit. All right, so this morning we got a package from Anthony Moore. It's where I get most of my plastic and graphics from, especially for the Evo bike. So here's the graphics for, this is gonna be for the 86 CR125. And front plate, radiator shrouds, and Anthony was nice enough to put obviously the graphics on it. So this bike, guys, is gonna come out amazing. And of course, with the 125, we're gonna do black backgrounds, and I'll probably do the HRC sort of custom ones that I really like that Anthony has done for me. Seat foam. And these are pretty nice. So for the fork guards, front disc guard, front fender, rear fender, of course. Fork boots, and of course the proper CR cover. So this bike's gonna look great. Brian, if you scoot over here, we have an 86 CR500 we just picked up Friday. It was in Lake Havasu, which is probably what, 3 hours north of us? Yeah, about 3 hours. Paul from PGG Builds was kind enough to go up and pick it up for me. We'll go through this whole bike, and it's really good shape. The frame's never been painted before, stock exhaust, and this is all original plastic, original stickers. This, you guys, will probably get washed tomorrow. I'm gonna re-powder coat original handlebars and everything else, put the proper fork boots back on it. Original sprocket, obviously the wheels have never been touched. These are the original tires. So We're not gonna put new rubber on it. We're gonna keep the original tires. So stay tuned for this. This tank also this will clean up really good, you guys. We tried a little test here just for like 1 minute, and it's coming up pretty easy. The motor's never been opened. So this should be a fun build and keep it all original. We're not even gonna, keep the original seat cover as well. So should be pretty good. Oh, even stock grips, which is pretty crazy, you guys, to see on a 500. But pretty pumped to find this bike, especially in our backyard. And we'll keep you posted on this. Hey guys, we are back in the office from vacation. Happy New Year, by the way. And we got the seat upholstered here in Scottsdale. They always do a great job for us. You can see how great the seat pan is. This is for the 86 CR125. We put new foam and seat cover in, and the seat cover is as close as you could get to factory original from Anthony Moore. I buy a ton of plastic, graphics, seat foam, you name it, from Anthony, and we're probably ordering stuff from him literally every few weeks. But this is all ready to go for the 86 CR125. Paul with PGD Builds is picking up the rest of this stuff. Not only do we have the 86 CR125 that he's doing, we also have the 83 CR250. We just finished this today. We just did a buff. And I don't use any product on it. We just use this here. And it does a really good job dry. And once we heat it and then buff it, you can see how great that looks. Came out amazing. And of course the seat here will be covering this. So Brian and I worked on that and it came out great. Something cool that you won't see every day. A lot of people ask if the 125 and 250 tank for 1986 are the same. They are not. We have actually an 86 CR125, 250 and 500 tank that we're working on right now because we have all three bikes that we're doing, which is pretty cool. So I'll have double or triple the bikes for these, which is pretty cool to have in the collection, so to speak. This one we just started working on. You can see how even just the sides here are different. This nod here and even the lower parts different. So little things like that. And of course the 500 is just a much larger tank. But we'll be using this material to knock it down, and then let's see here, that's pretty aggressive. Here it is. Then we'll use this material to finish it, heat it. This is one of the heat guns that we use. It's a great heat gun. It's about $180, but it's well worth it. The other ones, they seem to fall apart. And then for sanding, we use this. So it has its own little vacuum in it. Does a pretty good job. It doesn't get too many particles airborne, so we could use it inside. And that's it. Motor from Brian, factory edge, back home. We decided to do the two-tone, and the bottom is actually a Cerakote. We did soup to nuts with the motor, so it's race ready. And if I ever do decide to sell it, it will be ready to go. It's just the way I like to do the motors, especially now since it's going to be, easier getting parts now than later. So smart to just have fresh rebuilds on it. I think both the 83 CR250 motor, the 86 CR125 motor, I think I spent easily $2,000 on each of them, get them rebuilt. But he does an amazing job. This one was cerakoted as well. See how nice it looks.
This bike actually came in exactly how you see it, except for we did replace some plastic and things like that. But all original. We did the motor right at factory edge, went through the whole motor. I think we spent about $1,800 in doing the rebuild, and then we did a Cerakote on it. The tank was a little bit of a mess. It did have some of the darkening of the tank that we sanded down and did our little finesse to the tank. We put all new plastic on from Anthony Moore. It had, in the video you'll see, it had I think a 87 seat cover. So we replaced the foam, did the seat cover, And I believe we put on OEM grips. These might be, I think these are the new ones. This is the original bars, bolts, levers, and everything. So you can see how good the condition was. We ordered other boots, but we were able to find the OEM boots, which definitely look a little bit better than the other ones that you'll buy online. I think they're only like $85 for the OEM boots, so they're well worth it. You could find them. I think we got those at Honda Parts Warehouse. We kept the original tires that were on the bike. Obviously, these aren't tires from when it was new. Maybe that rear Dunlop is, but the forks you can see are in great condition. The pipe, we did a Cerakote. You know, what's great with the Cerakote, it's not too shiny or it's not too flat. So it's a really good finish for the pipe and it holds up really well. What else can I tell you about it? Swing arm really didn't need too much work. The complete wheels, we didn't take apart or anything. We kept them together. The hubs are in really good shape. The wheels themselves are in really good shape. The spokes and everything. And even down to the silencer. The silencer it just came out really, really good. And it is rare to find a silencer that's not damaged at all. I mean, that one looks still like brand new. We did rebuild the shock and the forks. One of the seals was leaking, so obviously you're putting this much money into the bike. We want to make sure those were restored. And so that way when they're sitting in the collection, they're not gonna be leaking. And if anybody decides to put gas in it, ride it, they'll be ready to go. We did end up, I was not planning on doing the frame, but since we had it torn apart, decided to do the powder coat of the frame, and now I'm glad we did, just because it just looks really good. It wasn't worn that bad, and sometimes when I get an all original bike, I try and keep it as original as possible, so if it does have some patina, it is what it is, but this one we decided to do the frame and subframe. The rails are in really good shape. You can see underneath. So overall, great bike. Great to have it in the collection. And yeah, now we have a 125 250 and a 500 86, so super pumped. So any questions, comments, let me know below. And every weekend we drop a video, so please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.